And welcome to another edition of the ETBU Sportsnet Coaches Show. Kind of the K-Rock Klein here. And in case you're wondering how to deal with a cold, don't worry. I have the solution for you right here. In the head club ice hockey coach in Alain Savage. Yes, we do have an ice hockey team, folks. So Coach Savage, third season out of the way for ETBU. And I have to say, I've been very impressed with the fact that this being your third season as a program, you've managed to have a winning season in every single time. I mean, what does that tell you about the team and the guys' commitment?
Well, I think we have good recruitment. Started with Carson Combs coming in and Ryan Herwin. The first two seasons is pretty much all they're doing. All the players they recruited are very, very good players, and not surprised that they had two solid seasons. And this year, we also had a great season.
Certainly, Coach. And, I look at the players, obviously, with some of the guys that, have the returners, obviously, with Skylar Spiller, Riley not stepping up, and, of course, Mike Garvey as well. But what also impressed me was some of the newcomers to the team as well. Davis Van Gimmerdin really seemed to catch fire late in the second half. He was, scoring all the goals. It was the leading scorer. And then, at some point during January, you added another player in Philippe Soderstrom, who really stepped up to contribute to your team. So, obviously, the future seems bright for the program, especially with those two guys, but also with the branch of players coming in. So, when that happens, when you have these players stepping up big time, of course, what does that do to the program as far as the confidence for the games and also for the future?
Well, what I'd like to do is bring in some players that can replace the players that are leaving. Michael Garvey is leaving the program next season. So we have Davis that can certainly step in those shoes, and Philip bring in some more offense to the program, and then we'll build our program around these guys and hopefully win a championship next year.
Definitely, Coach. So last time we talked, you were kind of in a situation where you were still trying to figure out your bearings a bit, but then you had a little bit of a momentum shifter where you caught fire late in the game, and it started against the series against Auburn, really when you were down 2 goals, and then you battled back in the third period to tie, and then you dominated the overtime session, but you didn't get that goal, ended up losing the game, but that really gave you the momentum to finish out the rest of the season and entering the tournament for the first time. So, obviously you were able to come together at the right time and all that. And did that help the guys' momentum saying, hey, we can do this. We can still figure out a way to get to the tournament?
Oh, yes, of course. I think the momentum changed when we went to Slovakia. That was a big turnaround for the guys as a group. Came back, played Auburn, played well the first game, lost in overtime, like you said. But second game, we dominated, and after that, it was just great to watch the players' chemistry together and play well defensively and offensively. Conference tournament, we played TCU the first game. Wasn't really a matchup. They didn't really have a team together. And in the semifinal, we lost versus UTEP, which UTEP, we played a better team than we were. They have a great team. I hope they do well in regionals, and I'm sure they will. They have a solid defense, offense, especially a great goalie. We had 43 shots on the goalie and 1 goal. He stopped many shots that probably would have went in, but yeah, we played a better team, and hopefully next year we're that team.
Definitely, Coach. So looking forward to having it next year as well. But again, like you said, you're losing a couple of players on your team. Of course, Chris Perry, and then Mike Garvey, who of course was one of your the top players, core players from the beginning of the season as well. So it's obviously going to be a big loss for him, or for the team. But obviously, you have a good replacement. But Garvey kind of went out on a little bit of a high there on senior day, because I remember. I was doing the PA that game, and I kind of knew what was going on, but he actually had a little bit of a marriage proposal to, his now fiance. So how did all that transpire for Mike Garvey to say, hey, I'm going to do this on senior day? So how did all that come about?
Well, he talked to me probably 2 months prior to the last game of the season. and we've all put that together. He gave me a puck where I drilled a little hole to put the ring in. It was all all organized prior to the senior night. We went on the ice, and we invited, on senior night, you invite the parents and the family to both players. And when his fiancée came on the ice, we did the scenario before. I kind of dropped the puck that I was going to give to him, and the ring was in it. So he got on one knee and proposed to his now fiancée.
Definitely a crazy way to come up with that. And so, well, we do wish Mike the best of luck through his life, and also through you especially and the players as you get ready for next season, where you hope we can go further than what you did. So thanks, Coach, for once joining us here, and we will have more on this YouTube channel for another edition of the ETBU Coaches Show. Stick around.